Hello, Shawn Saylor with Meridian Realty, Saylor & Associates here in Fayetteville. Today we're just going to touch base on some thoughts about selling your home at a short sale. Just touch on some marketing ideas, what needs to be disclosed, and what's the best avenue. I think really, right up front, I'd like to just say, in my personal opinion, I'd probably avoid those agencies or negotiators that want to charge you an upfront fee to help you sell your house at a short sale. Pretty much real estate operates now as it did many years ago, whether it's traditional real estate or bank-owned or short sale, and that's where the broker gets paid at the closing in the form of a commission. When you start paying upfront fees and marketing fees and negotiation fees, then I think it starts getting a little tricky, and it's not in the best interest for the homeowner. A lot of questions we have whenever we put the property up for a short sale is doing any improvements or cleaning up or clearing up of the property. One of the common questions we have from our homeowners is considering the property condition. And we really have two different people that we're trying to consider whenever we're selling the home, and they're almost at odds with each other. On the one hand, we have the buyer that we're trying to encourage to make an offer on the home. And of course, we want the home to look its best to where he can envision himself living there, enjoying it with his family. But on the other hand, we have the bank. And the bank, the impression we want to get across is that this is not a property they want to have to take back. They have to do their own improvements, their own repairs, their own recarpeting. We want them to feel like this is just not a project that we want to tackle. So which one do we cater our marketing to, and which one do we consider the property condition? Well, the truth is it's a lot like a train. We got to kind of go down both of these rails in order to get where we want to go. So we want the property to be cleared up a little bit, but I think I would consider advertising it pretty much as is. Whether it's walls in need of painting or carpeting in need of cleaning, I think I would just advertise and market the property as is, because in my opinion, the home buyer, when he's looking at short sales, is looking at property pricing more than he is property condition. He pretty much accepts and understands, if he's looked at a few bank-owned and a few short sales, that there is going to be some improvements required by him if he wants to get the house the way he wants it. And the first step we have to consider is going back to the bank, because we want them to agree to cooperate with a short sale. They really don't want this property back. They'd like to go ahead and come to terms with all parties, the buyer, the seller, all the agents involved, to go ahead and come to terms to where we can go ahead and get to a closing. Now, the short sale has gotten to be a little bit more commonplace, so the advertising is not as niche oriented as it used to be even just a couple of years ago. The MLS system, many of them now even has a short sale category specific for that type of transaction. It's very common now with real estate magazines, websites. They all have this separate category now because it's such a common place in our market that it does not really require a lot of niche advertising. What we do have to consider, though, is that we are supposed to disclose that this sale is subject to third-party approval, which is the current lender on the bank. So things like riders on the yard signs, they should say short sale. All the MLS advertising, any outside public advertising really should have this disclaimer that's not just up to the seller to approve the sale, but also to the lender who's currently holding the mortgage. So there is some wording that we need to make sure we include, and there is some disclosure, but there's not any special niche marketing now that would generate more interest than advertising it to the greater public as a whole and letting those persons come forward and say, hey, I'd like to see this home. So those areas are kind of very, very common questions that we have. You have more questions, I am sure. You're welcome to give us a ring. We'll give you a free consultation. We'll be happy to come out to your home and look at both the property value, the property condition, and sit and listen to what are your specific circumstances going on in your life that you think needs to be addressed with this short sale. Shawn Saylor, Meridian Realty Saylor and Associates, 770-719-9150. Thank you.